Hello and welcome. My name is Melissa Moreno. In today's podcast for Ethnic Studies, we will be discussing the history behind my father immigrating from Mexico to the United States and the many obstacles that he faced when doing so. So, without further ado, here's Hector Moreno.
Oh, why, hello, Melissa. How are you? Oh, and thank you for having me here.
Yes, I'm blessed. Thank you for being involved in my podcast. Anyways, I would love to ask what your ethnicity is and if you're a part of your culture.
My ethnicity is Mexican, and am I proud of my culture? Yes, very much so.
What wowed you when being here and coming to California or the United States, as I would say? Did you experience culture shock by any chance?
I was brought here at the age of 3. I was always told that if anybody ever asks you, you tell them that you're an American and you're a US citizen. When growing up, there was an unfortunate time period that people would get taken out of schools if you were an illegal immigrant. What sadness that was that any child had to go through that. And the secondary of your question of what makes me feel awe about the United States, it's actually being now that understanding the diversities that we do have, and there's certain rules and regulations that one has to go by, in order to get such privilege and such benefits of the United States.
Have you ever had an encounter with discrimination? And if so, could you give us a story or explain something that stuck with you most during your life?
The one that still sticks with me, yes. I never knew that actual racism was part of still of the United States. It was an unfortunate thing. I did home health care, and I pretty much applied at a facilities, which we would rather not state the name of it or anything, just so that way they're still held okay with standards for future people. But it was very unfortunate that I had a conversation with them 6 months prior, and we were very well, informed with one another over the phone. They never met me whatsoever or anything. And pretty much when time came to be, and I basically moved my whole family to another location, and then come to find out that when they actually met me, saw me, they were right, like not even 3 hours prior, we were talking on the phone or conversing on the telephone. And when they met the individual that I am, basically in the flesh, I was told that they didn't have any people for me, which was really wild for when I spoke with them. They had pretty much very ample amount of patience for my expertise. So that was the first time I ever experienced such discrimination and racism here in the United States, and it still sticks with me for this time.
I don't think I asked you, but where exactly are you from? And when you explained to me that your family, where are they from too?
I was born in a little town in the state of Jalisco, Mexico. And the little town that I was brought into this world to was called Wujukia. And it's close by San Nicolas. Your grandmother, my mother, she is from there, and my father, your grandfather, he is from Guadalajara. He is from Jalisco as well, and pretty much, yeah, we're just from Jalisco.
So, from what you explained to me, it's kind of like we live in the zone of being, here in the United States, and explaining where you grew up, it kind of sounds like the zone of non being. Am I correct or no?
To a point, yes and no. Yes, on the fact that we are not being, because wherever we go, we be. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like if it weren't for the reasons of me being able to come here to the States, you girls would not be at the very blessed positions that you are at now, though, too.
How would you define race?
Race comes in a diverse thing of what the United States was. And then for me, race is so many things. It brings a lot of people's different diversities into one location, which is the United States. That is why so many people come from around the world, different races, whether you're Caucasian, African American, you're Asian, Hispanic, Indian, anywhere from the world, it's for the United States.
I think many beg to differ that to define race is the unifying principle of white supremacy. What do you think about this?
The very crazy thing about that is that, yes, a lot of things from our past, yes, the white supremacies, KKK, secret societies, all of that good stuff, yes, it has its negatives, but because of those negatives, we've actually evolved with a lot more positives. Yet so many people do not understand the true, unfortunate circumstances that did happen to a lot of families and so forth because of the ignorance of certain human beings. But by, getting out all the bad, you get a lot of good, though.